No, Kraton 7, you are in fact just in time. Haha. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Good to see you. There we go. It is good to be back. Joe, nice to see you. Thank you for that host. And Jexes, so nice of you to be here. Too soon? Just in time, I'd say. Just in time. My God, yesterday was a good stream. Jexes, you would have... If you haven't seen the VOD yet, I can really recommend watching that one. Because we got the Jexes 3 to the Mun. And as I tweeted out, it started off as Apollo 11. It quickly turned into Apollo 13, Gravity, and then the Martian. But we avoided turning it into Lost in Space. It was so good. You watched the VOD today? Ah, nice. What'd you think, Jexes? Joe, you were gonna stream? I'm so sorry to be interrupting your streaming plans then. Although I'm glad that you're here enjoying this with us. Finally, the kitty as well has decided to eat the food that has been there for him for an hour. The problem was, I wasn't sitting here next to the food for that hour. How can a cat be expected to eat? Such tense moments, it was hilarious. Wasn't it just amazing? Just the moment of actually saving those Kerbals. I have never felt such a sense of achievement in this game before. Now you have a reason to not stream for a little longer? Nice. Okay, so we got a bunch of science the last time. But here's where we are. Let's first look. What we still have active. So, determining what we do today. We still need to launch a rover to Minmus. Well, we have our rover ready. That was the one that could land on the Mun. So, we could just fly that to Minmus. Should be no problem. We have an interesting one where we need to get into a low orbit around the Sun. I don't exactly know how much Delta V we need for that, but we'll find it out. We're doing this one, that just takes waiting. This is the problem. We need to return to Kerbal from the surface of the Mun. We were on Kerbal, on the Mun before, but we didn't take the vessel that was on the surface of the Mun back to Kerbal. So apparently, that's what we need to do. It's okay though, we'll do that today then. This one, I kind of want to get around to doing this one, building an airplane and flying it to the North Pole and just not worrying that much about it. And these are a question of waiting. Actually, I think we still need to launch the Minmus one. But what do we have available? They want us immediately to start building an outpost on Minmus. I have never built an outpost on anything yet. So yes, we're going to do that. Putting Kerbal into orbit for 30 days, we might be able to do that. But getting science from the space around Kerbal, sure, easy enough. We're going to get 2 new Kerbals, because we're going to save them from orbit of Kerbal. Yes, and yes. Putting a Kerbal in orbit for 30 days, that's something we can still do. It's not going to expire. And I think we need a little bit more before we can do that. Actually, we should be able to do that already. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Let's do that. It's not going to be a full-on space station, but we can put a Kerbal in orbit for 30 days. And this one involves taking multiple readings on the surface of the Mun. So that, in effect, turns into wow, we have a lot of networks going on. That involves putting a rover on the Mun and driving it places, and specifically putting a rover down here. We could probably do that. Well, let's take that one as well. Let's just destroy all the debris for the Man-Mun mission. We are done with it. It's okay. It's okay. It's just gonna take up junk space. And what do you think we should do with the actual vessel of the Mun mission? Should we destroy this, or just still keep this in orbit just for the sake of it? We can crash it into the Mun, by the way. I think. Do we have any? No, we don't have any control, of course. Needs to be retrieved for that contract. We could probably do that. We might be able to do that, yeah. Actually, no, We'd have to be able to attach a heat shield. We'd have to be able to attach a heat shield. I don't know if you can do that. But if we can attach a heat shield and plonk some parachutes on the side, we might be able to do it. It'd be very tricky. Let's just leave it in orbit until we discover whether or not we can actually do that. Did you cancel that contract where you need to land on them on return? No. We still have that one. I was actually thinking of just sending a new lander to the Mun to do that. Okay, so we're doing this one because it's a nice challenge. So I'm thinking more likely we're just going to leave it and land a new thing on the surface of the Mun to get science. Oh my, whoa. Okay, I accepted these missions to get Kerbals. But that one is in a bit of a wider orbit than I'm used to. That's okay though, it's not that difficult. We can get them. The question is, can we get both at the same time? Now there's the challenge. Maybe first up, you know what, let's try to do those Kerbals first up. We have about 500 science. We could either get one of these and one of these. So let's see. These intakes are nice. This ramjet is pretty cool for flight. An injection cover is cool. 3 crew members at the same time, but this is a bit luxury. I want this. I want to play with this, but it's a bit luxury. Heavy command modules gets us the largest heat shields, but we don't need those right now. So I think we're not gonna take these for the time being. Let's go back. Now a heavier fuel engine might very well be a good idea, because you've seen the problem we ran into yesterday. So this is a very likely buy. These are very small engines, probe engines, maybe tiny lander engines. Could be interesting. I don't know why somebody's banging on the railing here. This is actually the tank that I was looking for the lander earlier. This one would be very good to get it into space. So it might be very worthwhile to choose this one as well, to get the fuel system and heavy rocketry at the same time. Subsonic flight again, yeah, it's nice. Gets us some cool stuff, but nothing necessary. Miniaturization. I still don't know what the point of construction ports are. Variants of the Clampotron that can be compressed for construction and can angle snap. I don't get what the point is. Now this is a science thing. This could be useful. Get the other panels, get another science thing for surface. And storage technology, we don't need a bigger bay right now, but this will be good, I think, when we start building an actual outpost on Minmus. Now here we go. This is the gravity ring and the greenhouse. That's going to be useful for getting that Kerbal in orbit for 30 days, as well as a big supply container. And this gets us science. This gets us biome scanners. Plus the hitchhiker storage, the lab, that's also a base thing, and the weather station would be nice. This is a very likely buy. Don't know when these are, but the Werner engine is cool for space planes. Landing, not that relevant. Advanced aerodynamics. This is again pretty cool to build space planes. This is something I want for the jet. These two go together really. What is luxury? We don't need a grabber, but a bigger docking port will be very nice to have, as well as struts that we can attach at a distance. So, hey there, Huther. Nice to see you. Isn't that used for base building? The construction port thingy? Maybe. Let's see, we have another one here. Can be compressed for construction, can angle snap. Maybe compressed for construction, that's a way to do it in EVA. That you can add a docking port on EVA. Who knows? Okay, we're gonna get the necessary things, which involves the bigger fuel engine. Let's see what that unlocks. The mainsail and the twin bore. These are so nice. The larger fuel tanks. That gets us advanced fuel system. Fuel ducts, finally. And this, by the way, is what I was waiting for. The connector port, I believe, multi-purpose. Or for building pipes. I think you use this to make fuel transfer, which can help us get the lander from the orbit of the Mun. I very much like the fuel duct. But we'll get this one, because we want this science and these abilities, these two, for a base, these three even. And this is also science, and this is science. So let's buy that one. Oh, we have a waste processor, okay. Oh, that unlocks a lot. So scanning tech, this is more science. This is worthwhile getting, but we don't have the science anymore. So, this is a scanner for science. This is new science. This is more science, and I don't know what this is. Small lab with integrated communication. You know what we should do? Logistics consumer. We should use the opportunity of having to build that base on Minimus to explore the colonization features. We'll just try and see what we can make of that one. Okay, so these were not super useful if I remember correctly, right? This was handy, but not required. This is empty. So I'm thinking this 180 I will spend on specialized construction, which I mainly want. This is again for base building. Harpoon sounds pretty cool. This is mainly to retrieve things in space, but I want this for the big docking port. Useful container might be nice. Hey, demolition charge, how cool. And the portable strut, that's my main interests. So we'll buy this one. Let's see what unlocks. The bigger containments. That'll have us build real tough carriers. That's useful for centralizing base building. Airlock. Small airlock suitable for attachment to MKS Ranger or Duna modules. Okay, that's cool. Composites. Grappling hook, okay. That's useful. Inline clampetron, I have no idea what this is. Cradles. Platform suitable for horizontally deploying 2.5mm modules. Includes independently adjustable stabilizers. Okay. Ranger Anchor Hub. Inflatable style hub for connecting tubes. This version features landing struts and includes a small probe core, making it ideal for the starting point of a base. Well, I guess we know what we are going to start our Minimus base with. Ranger Ball Hub. Small inflatable style hub for connecting tubes. Attachment points. So this seems to be a stack adapter. This seems to be the base building kit. Okay, we bought a bunch of signs. We don't have it. Oh, hello. Because we unlocked the new science part, we now get new missions. We can do biome scans of the Mun and of Kerbal, so that involves launching some satellites. More missions we're going to be doing today. First up, though, is we're going to be doing the Kerbal rescue mission. So we have two of them, one in low Kerbal orbit, which should be easy, and one in higher Kerbal orbit. Kind of want to try and see if we can do both at the same time. First up, we'll launch the lander to Minimus, the rover lander, because that's going to take a while. So I'd rather have that load while we're doing the other missions. I almost said quests. What was it the basically? I don't think it was the basically. You know what? I love these names, but we're gonna have to we're gonna have to give them sensible names because I'm getting real confused by now. Was it the Lone Ranger? No, the Dick Grayson. There we go. The Dick Grayson. That was our basic rover design. By now, though, you know what? We have so much new stuff. We can redesign all of this. We'll just redesign from the ground up, or actually from the top down. We'll start from there. So, firstly, I want this thing to be landed with the sky crane. Do we want this in the middle? Sure, why not? Which means we need a decoupler. By the way, if anyone has any sensible idea of how you can... These little pauses that I keep getting, right? These weird little pauses, if anyone knows how to get rid of them, I would greatly appreciate it. It's some kind of memory leak, I know. It's just... I don't get how it already has a memory leak. Ah, this one's bigger. We need this baby to be functioning on the Mun. We're just gonna do the same design we had before because that was pretty darn effective. There we go. Scale this down by 1. It worked just fine. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. See, this has more than enough delta V to land this entire lander safely. I'm just thinking, would there be a nice way of changing this? No, this way, see, I want these to be that long to have these extend beyond the lander. So either way, even if we shorten these in, the profile is still going to be dominated by that radius. So we can just keep these as long as well. Okay, goal is to get a bunch of science on this rover. We might actually, now that we have this central thing, use that to set up a couple of science experiments. Now the orbital telescope is going to be useless because you need to use them from orbit. So we could attach one, but there'd be no point. So let's just start including our regular. See that little slowdown? That is not on your end. Does not twitch. That is just the game being difficult. Let's make this a little bit more visually pleasing. Extend it by that, or we could build it into it, I guess. You know what? Building it into it seems nice. The cable's going in. I like that. Now, as always, we're going to need a magnetometer on this baby. And I'll like it again maybe to be somewhere in the back. Though I guess we could do something weird, like keep it on an angle like this. Let's see if we can adjust that. Let's see, would this look cool? It clips a little bit with that thing. I don't like that. Nah, it looks weird off center. Let's see. Let's just add some of the basics. So, I want this baby to have actually a reasonable battery, but this would be quite a big battery size. As long as the center of weight is in an acceptable place, this is fine though. But yeah, if you see all those little blocks, all those little breaks that we keep having, those pauses, they're starting to make the game a little bit annoying for me. I just don't like the fact that there's that many small interruptions. I'm starting to think that one of the mods may need to go because there's just an issue somewhere. Problem is, I don't remember exactly when this started. I suspect, to be honest, that it started after we put Ferrum Aerospace in there. There we go. I want it a little bit outward so that they illuminate a large swath of the area. Let's see. So we can either go with a normal small-sized set of wheels, or we can go huge. I don't think we need huge. I mean, actually, no, that would look ridiculous. Look at that. Wheels like this for a tiny rover like that? No. We're fine using these. But as always, you have to offset these. I wonder what these wheels are. Oh, they're tiny. That's interesting. That's interesting. That reduces its profile a bit. We could have those folded up and then extend downwards as we land. These don't retract, do they? No. That's pretty cool, but it would put it very low. Let's have a quick look. What if we added these twice? Freaking hate games publishers? What's the matter, Huther? Already breaking into the games industry, going to surprise us with good games, except the game publishers don't want you breaking the monopoly? I bet that's what it is. Let's see. You know what? These we could probably just attach. Actually, let's attach the. Oh, that's nice. Let's attach the larger ones because they obscure the middle part a little bit more. Let's see. Do I have anything else that is